Hey everybody, and welcome to the lounge, all my fellow loungers, chillers, ballers, and grillers. Today we're doing another Q&A. This is Uncle Larry Tells All 2.0. So, Tom's going to ask the questions again because it makes it a lot easier when you're reading the questions and I can just answer them. But before we get started, again, I want to shout out our podcast on, you know why? Because why not? It's on Podbean.com. Man, that's kind of a difficult thing to say. Try saying it 3 times in a row real fast.
Podbean.com, Podbean.com, Podbean.com.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, that's where it's at. You can follow us on that, or you can just listen to the podcast on there. We're also on Spotify, we're on iTunes, and we're going to try to get on Google Play. That's in the process, I believe. Right, Tom?
Yes.
Tom's right there. He just doesn't want to be on camera. He's getting camera shy. So, we're going to start these questions, and hopefully we got some good ones here.
Alright, so first question is from Nicole Boisver10.
Okay.
Larry, did you retry the cheese challenge on Tom again? LOL.
No, I have not, but I did hear that I was using the wrong kind of cheese. That you're supposed to buy that imitation yellow cheese. Or not yellow, orange cheese. It's stickier. So,
oh well.
We'll see. What?
From General Ghosts. Question, are you planning... No, sorry, question. Are you planning to stream on Twitch, yes or no? I think it's supposed to be planning.
Am I planning to stream on Twitch? You mean like for our podcast? There's been talk about it.
I think it just means in general.
Oh. Well, what else is there to stream on there other than... What do you stream?
I mean, that, video games.
Oh, you can stream like Q&As on there too, right?
Technically you could, yeah.
I don't know. Jesse's trying to get us into it eventually. It might be something that we pursue. I'm not going to say one way or the other because I really don't know that much about it. Just kind of like the podcast. We had to learn everything about it first.
Dark Nebulous 04 asks, what's your favorite moment from My Virtual Escape?
My favorite moment?
Favorite moment?
Probably when it was over. No. It was a hard series to do. Favorite moment on that? Probably meeting the Regenis crew. I think I said this in the last Q&A, but because they were a great group of guys to meet and everything. And again, I shouted them out last time. I'll shout them out again. Check those guys out in their videos and stuff. They were just a great group of guys to meet, and we did that. That was Brother in Arms, and that was probably one of my favorite things in that series.
SWCMD Center asks, is there a chance that you will switch to Storyfire?
Again, I don't know. I guess there is a chance. I have to be asked to go. That I'm, told that I'm allowed to go to Storyfire before I can actually go to Storyfire. I have an account on there. I've written some stories. You guys should check them out. I think they're pretty good. Never did finish my last series that I was doing, but kind of had other things to do in my life right now. So we'll see.
Keep It Cool 324 asks, during the Psycho series, would people confuse your real character with your real life?
I would say so, because I'm pretty close to that character in real life. I mean, that character was basically based off of me, my natural personality, other than the stuff of like trying to run over Jeff and stuff like that. But I kind of am I think I am the kind of guy that is like, if my nephew came over and wanted to, needed to stay at my house, that he would be able to stay at my house because having problems at home or something like that. So,
Dougherty01 asks, since Storyfire app is more open and accepting for creators to make content, will you and Joe Bump 529 be going there to make videos? Again,
that all comes down to being allowed to do it, being asked to do it. We don't know. We'll see.
Douglin Bree asks, when Halloween comes around, will you and Jesse host an MVE costume party for the cast and the Juggies?
Absolutely no. I mean, I had my one party here. It was a fan party and everything. It gets really loud if you hear me like all of a sudden speaking up because there's some loud traffic out here. I had my one fan party. That'll be it. I did say I promised I would have one if we got to 1 million, but we're not even close to that. So, if I'm a man of my word, if we did get there, I would definitely have a party, but not here. but someplace else.
Doug Limbury also asks, how did you become such an excellent cook?
Oh, she gets 2 questions? I don't think I'm an excellent cook. I think I'm an okay cook. Anything that I've really learned from my wife. She's an excellent cook. And Tom can vouch for that.
Correct. Doug Limbury also asks, have you seen Bohemian Rhapsody back in November?
No, I have not. Nor do I plan on seeing it. It's just not my thing.
Doug Limbury also asks...
Boy, she's asking a lot of questions.
Do you know the band Queen?
Yes, of course I know the band Queen. And I like the song Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm not a real big fan of Queen, you know, of their songs, but there's a couple of them that I like. But that's the only one I really think that that's probably the one that I like the most. I really can't think of another song that I really care for of theirs. Go ahead.
The Moderator 19 asks, what is the worst restaurant you've ever been to?
The worst? Oh, I don't remember the... Oh, actually, it was the best and the worst. It was called Rusty's down in North Carolina. And one time we went there and it was the absolute best that we went to. And then the next time I went there, it was one of the worst that we've ever been to because they did some things that I don't like. I hate green beans. I hate to taste them. And my plate came out with, I specifically asked for no green beans on the plate. The plate came out with green beans on it. And so I told them. They took it back. Then they brought it back out. Well, the problem is with green beans is if it touches something else, I can taste the flavor of green beans in there. So after they came out, I said, all you did was went and took the plate back and scraped off the green beans, right? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, thanks, because I could taste green beans in there, and I absolutely hate that. So needless to say, we haven't went back there.
Queen of TWD92 asks, what's your favorite series you played and why? By the way, much love and many blessings to you and your family.
What was my favorite series that I've played in?
And why?
Is he talking about in Jesse's channel or
she actually.
Or
just his favorite series.
Oh, my favorite series is the Slappy Halloween series, and that's because it's my own series. And I mean, I love being in MVE, love being in the Ursula series, Christmas series. That was not one of my favorites, and Psycho series was fun too. But I would say that my own series, the Slappy Halloween, was my favorite.
Dylan Metzger 1 asks, how do you feel about Jesse buying a house with his brother? Will they last?
I don't ever think it's a good idea to buy a house with your brother. I mean, if it's your wife, that's a different story. With your brother, a little bit different. Brothers fight a lot. These two have had a history of not getting along. Not to say that they're not, I mean, they also have a part of their history getting along, but I don't think it's ever a good idea to do that. And will it last? Absolutely no.
What would you be doing as a career if YouTube was non-existent?
See, that makes no sense, that question. Who is this from?
Oh, this is from Marshall MC17, my bad.
I have a career. I had a career before before I even knew what YouTube even was. I own my own canvas company with my sisters. A lot of people get this confused, and I'm kind of glad that this question came up because a lot of people get it confused. Because I've read sometimes where people think, "Oh, he works for the Juggy store." No, I don't work for the Juggy store. The Juggy store is in my shop, where it's just a little section that we kind of put over on the side to do this stuff. And Terry does it, and Jackie does it, and it's for Jesse's YouTube channel, and also can do my stuff and JT's too. I don't work for the Juggy store. The Juggy store just happens to be part of our business that we've put over on the side, but it's not our. It's separate, but it's inside of our business. I've always worked at A&J Canvas Company. I will always work there. It was my dad's business. I took it over. I'll work there until we decide that it's time to stop. Did I clear that up, I think?
I think so.
Okay.
Next is from Joseph Mack 1999. What is your favorite music genre, and do you have 3 favorite bands from that genre?
I love 80s music, but I also love 70s. I'd say my favorite bands are Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Led Zeppelin, the cars, and probably a billion other ones. So yeah, I mean, I guess my genre would be 70s and 80s. Well, it'd be rock. It'd be rock. If that's what he's asking, like rock or...
I believe that's what he meant.
Yeah, it's mostly rock. Neil Young is another one of my favorites.
Alright. Next question. Did Tom ever go to college? If so, where?
Did you, Tom?
Okay. We're just gonna scooch on in. Yes, I did go to college. I went to Rowan University. The next one is actually also for me. What's my #1 favorite video game? Pikmin 2 for the GameCube. It will probably always be my favorite game because I just really like it. Played it every year.
Pikmin. Alright, get over there.
Hey, these questions were for me.
Asking you questions.
I got a problem with it, take it up with them. Oh, actually the next one's for me too.
Ah, I might as well just go take a break.
Have I ever heard of speedrunning video games, and if so, what do I think of it? I've heard of speedrunning, yeah. You know, if they want to go with it, then... You know I can see you on the screen on the camera. Anyway, I've heard of speedrunning, and I'm not really one for it. I think it just got...
What?
I think that it just kind of... I like taking my time with the video games, because it lets me feel more like I'm immersing myself in the world of it, and I like it a little bit better.
What?
Alright, fine then.
Go ahead, are you done yet?
Long story short, yes, I've heard of speedrunning, and I'm not one for it, but props to people who do it. It's not easy, good for them.
Okay, go sit down. Man, you had to ask a question about games, because that's going to go on forever.
Oh, also, I'm sorry, the last two questions were from Some Fun Times and Brandy33 in that order.
Oh yeah, you forgot to say... Come on, Tom!
Well, I'm not used to being the one getting asked questions. And actually, I think the college one I didn't read either. Matthew Colopy. My bad. Alright, so, next question. Back to you. Antonio Galvin 9 asks, how do you feel that Jesse is in the new house?
How do I feel that he is? Good for him. Now I feel good. I mean, isn't that what everybody wants? They want to, you know, leave the nest. Leave the nest, go out on their own. Get a house. I'm just saying, I feel good for him.
You do realize that if I leave, most of the channel kind of stops, because I do the editing.
Nobody said that you don't come back and do all that.
Well, what's the point of me moving out at that point?
Well, you can do all the editing at your house.
That's not how that works.
I think it works pretty good.
That's not all how that works.
Alright, next question.
Some Fun Times asks, how would you react if you ever met a doppelganger of yourself?
That means like a twin, right?
Basically, or like a shapeshifter who looks just like you.
I've actually seen people that look like me, and I'll take double takes, be like, yo, but it turns out that they just have a bald head and a goatee.
Alright, next up from Brandy33 again. This one is for me.
Again?
Again. Would I be interested in moving in with Jesse if he offered room to me?
Oh, good question.
Kind of goes in line with the answer to what he said for Jesse's new house. And it's that, I mean, you know, I do the channel with him, like the podcast stuff too. I do the editing and stuff, so I'd either have to like keep going back and forth from Jesse's house back to here.
That's 15 minutes, so that's pretty far.
Well, yeah, but like I'd have to be doing that a lot. And not to say that I wouldn't do it, but doesn't really make much sense to, I guess.
Right. It's not relevant because you haven't been asked to anyway, so...
Exactly.
Tom's not cool enough to move into that house.
Apparently not.
Go ahead.
Alright, so next up from Some Fun Times. Are you going to VidCon this year?
There's some fun times? Didn't you just say that like...
This is the third question from them.
Am I going to VidCon? No. I'm not going this year. I didn't go last year either. I really don't care for VidCon. To tell you the truth, I don't go to anything other than to just meet some of the fans, which is great, by the way, but it's an awful expensive trip just to go, you know what I mean? Like, going to California costs a lot of money, and staying at the hotel there, and yeah, no.
Cons are for everyone. Next up from Brandy33. How is your knee doing recently? Have you been using your bike?
My knee has been rough this last ever since I started back to work. it's swollen in place that it was swollen before, but it's even more now. And I've had this strange kind of like pain and stiffness kind of in it that I didn't have before. So I don't know if I overdid it or what happened at work. Good for me though that today it's only 1:20 and I didn't go to work today. I'm taking it slow. What?
Also from Brandy33, is your hot tub up and running? Haha.
Yes, my hot tub is up and running. Haha.
From Some Fun Times, what is something that creeps you out the
There's
most?
only 2 people asking these questions.
Exactly.
What's that? I'm sorry.
What is something that creeps you out the most?
Creeps me out the most? Wow. Germs creep me out. If I know that somebody's sick, it creeps me out, right? I mean, like, you know.
Yeah, he's a real bad germaphobe.
I'm a germaphobe, and then I'm a hypochondriac, because, like, as soon as I'm around somebody that's already been sick, I start thinking to myself that I'm coming down with it. Like, all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, my throat hurts. Oh, my glands are swollen. Yeah, I'm out. I'm sick.
There's a reason you didn't go to work today. Alright, next up from Brandy33. What character do you find favorite for the most on your channel? So I guess what's your favorite character on the channel?
On our channel would be, I think my favorite character is Drunk Larry, or Party Larry, or Slappy Larry, whichever one you want to call it. I also like Mad Dog too, but it's really close between those two. But see, I can't do Mad Dog that much because of YouTube and their rules and all that stuff, so yeah, it kind of sucks.
Next is from Real G Diamond. What are your thoughts on Jesse doing Storyfire pretty much full time and putting YouTube on the back burner?
What are my thoughts on it? I think that everybody should do what they want to do. I mean, that's what he's doing now. I think Storyfire is pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's open to everybody, that everybody can make videos on there and everything. But I mean, it's kind of cool that he started his own app and he's got it up and going and everything. As far as YouTube, stopping YouTube and doing Storyfire, I don't know. That's his decision of what he's doing. I myself, even if I was doing stuff on Storyfire, I would still be making as much as possible on YouTube. So, but
all right, I Love Jesus 30 asks, do you like hardcore wrestling? There's a hardcore question for you.
I do not like wrestling. I'm sorry, guys. I know that there are female wrestlers now. If watching females wrestling would be a lot more attractive to me than watching 2 guys wrestle around.
Some Fun Times asks, have you ever tried laser tag before? If so, would you do it?
I've never played that, and I don't know, because I really can't run, so I'd be easy target. And Tom would be the one taking me out, probably be like, pew, pew, wouldn't you?
Possibly.
Yeah.
This is an interesting question. Robbie1543 asks, who's a better son, Tom or Jesse?
Well, because Tom's my only son and Jesse's not my son, I would say Tom. But even if Jesse was actually my son, I would say Tom.
Buck Let's Play asks, have you ever been to Missouri? What parts of the U.S. have you traveled to?
No, I've never been to Missouri. I've been to California, Florida, North Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia. Stopped over in Arizona only because on our way to I think on our way to Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii, so I can't think of any other place.
Kevin14 asks, are you excited for the summer?
Of course. I love summer.
Ink Bonkers asks, would you ever go skydiving?
No. I wanted to go when I was young, but I never did. At this age, I would not.
The Moderator 19 asks, if you could bring back one historical figure from the past and have dinner with them, who would it be?
One historic figure from the past and have dinner?
One historical figure from the past and have dinner with them.
I would say Abraham Lincoln.
Any reason why?
Oh, I have to give a reason? Only because I think he's probably one of the best people that ever lived. So I would love to just pick his brain. Like, hey, what are your beliefs? What were your beliefs? What were you thinking when, during this time of slavery and all that stuff? And he's just one. I can think of some other ones, but he would probably be my absolute one that I would want to, especially since my last name's Abraham. My mom was going to name me Lincoln to begin with, so kind of had a connection. I was also born on his birthday, so.
Next up, also from the moderator 19, what's the most scariest experience of your whole life?
Scariest experience. Wow, that's a good question. I know that there was one time where we were, when I was a little kid, and my cousin took us on a boat ride on a sandbar, and I was running on the sandbar, and there was a hole, and I fell in the hole, and it was over my head, and I couldn't swim, and my glasses fell off, and I caught them in my hands, but I got to the edge and pulled myself up, and I go walking down to the other end of the sandbar, and my family's there, and I'm soaking wet from head to toe, and they had no idea. I think there was at one point somebody looked up and they didn't see me because I was disappeared in a hole. They didn't even look. It was underwater. That was pretty scary.
Truffle166 asks, hey Larry, quick question. What microphone do you use for your podcast? As I love the audio quality.
What is that, Tom? It's a
Blue Yeti mic.
A Blue Yeti mic.
I don't know if there's any more of a specification for it, but it's like the most common Blue Yeti mic.
Right.
So KingLink86 asks, will you still post YouTube videos, or will you post videos on Storyfire when the video uploads come?
I don't have any plans to go off of YouTube. I have not been invited to go onto Storyfire once again. I think I already said this, right? As far as the Storyfire is, would I go on there once invited and it's opened up to everybody? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But I don't want to stop doing YouTube. We've already built our core audience up there.
Bink Bonkers asks, would you ever go skydiving? Wait a minute.
That sounds familiar.
KingLink86 asks, will you be paranoid again if Tom pulls something on you?
Yeah, I'm still a little paranoid every time, like the camera being on right now, but since this was my idea to do this video, I'm not as paranoid.
Or was it?
Oh, it was.
This person, Spinner Forest, asks, can you make Tom move the firewood, or would you drive a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo? They're pretty good.
Say what? Those two questions are so bizarre. Would I make Tom move the firewood?
That's the first one.
Tom has to move the firewood, and he's running out of time. He has until, what, this weekend or something?
I realize I do.
Yeah. What's the other question? Would I drive a...
Would you drive a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo?
That is a bizarre question, and why wouldn't I? If I had the opportunity, I would.
Next up, from Real Andrew Floyd, who is the biggest role model in life?
My biggest role model? Wow. I don't think I ever had one. I really don't. Yep, I had no role models.
Sorry, the Twitter went all the way back up to the top, so I had to find where I was again.
Tom's got Twitter problems right now. It went all the way back to the top, and now he's got to search to find it all. We're just going to take a couple more anyway. He'll take a couple minutes here, but that's okay. Yeah, it's kind of sad that I don't have any I don't remember any role models growing up whatsoever. That's probably why I had such poor direction in my life while I was growing up, being a teenager, and I was not focused on the future. I was just in the moment. Did you find anything, Tom?
Found one, yeah.
Okay.
From Salty Bob, do you think Storyfire...
Why so salty, Bob? Do you think Storyfire can slay the mighty YouTube dragon? Somebody's got to. That's the way I look at it, and why not? I think Jesse's a very determined person, very driven. I think if he puts all his energy into it, I think he can... I don't know, YouTube, it is a dragon, that's for sure. It's a monster. Yeah, I think it can be slayed, though, and I think it's kind of... it's been kind of hurting itself, and we need a platform solely for creators that aren't professional to begin with. And that's one of the problems with YouTube right now, is too many professionals are on there now. YouTube sees that they're getting the majority of the views and the money and all that stuff, so they're catering to them and forgetting about the people that actually are the people that really matter. And it's kind of like government is. You know, we forget about the poor people, the middle, you know, the lower middle class. We look at only the rich and we take care of them. It's kind of the same thing that YouTube's doing. Go ahead.
Brandy33, any movie recommendations?
Yeah, I just saw Green Book, and that movie was outstanding. I recommend that to anybody that wants to see that movie. It has a great message. It's based on a true story. It's about, you know, racism, but more than that, it's about ignorance, and it's about how people don't accept other people just because they put them into a box and they believe that they're a certain way. And I tweeted out yesterday, oh, wow, this got me going. This will be our last question. Okay. And it kind of has me going because I tweeted out yesterday about how I see a similarity. Like, the laws have changed in our country where that we're not as, you know, because back then, you know, black people couldn't eat in a restaurant, you know, because they were the color of their skin. Absolutely ridiculous, right? So we've changed the laws from that, where we've made it better, but there's still a lot of prejudice still going on. But I see a lot of similarities through social media now. Now all of a sudden people are hating on people and they don't know them at all. It's like, that's what that movie shows, is like these two characters that are in there, the driver and the pianist, right? Pianist? I don't like saying that word. But
piano player. Yeah,
the piano player. They were two different people. One was black, one was white. And they didn't understand each other, and they learn because they don't have a choice, basically, because they're almost living together, and they see the struggles of each other, and they see what the real person is about and their real morals and all that stuff. So but at first they already had their prejudices against each other because of their ignorance. And I see that on social media every stinking day, where people make judgments of people. They don't know nothing about them. They'll make videos about other people, or they'll just say things about other people when they don't know nothing. They absolutely know nothing, and their reality, their truths are not truths. They're not reality. And it's sad, but that movie really triggered me when I watched that movie, because it was so awesome. It hasn't changed any. This is what man's problem has always been. And until people start looking at their own hearts and start looking at everybody else's hearts, it's not going to change. So on that rant, I'm going to end it now. Appreciate all the questions. Love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell for that post notification and the like button. Love all you guys. Until next time, grab yourself something cold to drink. Put your feet on relax. I'll meet you at the lounge.